Good day, traders. Bitcoin here from Alto X Capital, coming in with this week's fundamentals outlook on gold. So this week starts with the 15th of September 2025. We did have quite a bit of news last week coming in the markets, looking at the PPI on Wednesday and the CPI on Thursday. And we did get a bit of market reactions from there, but this week we do have one of the biggest news that will definitely affect gold. That is the Fed rate cut news that we are expecting to come this coming Wednesday, the 17th of September 2025. So I'm just going to read a few articles here just to support why gold is still a safe haven, looking at what's been the news that has been dropping on in the market. So I'll read this article here from AP News. It says the Fed faces economic uncertainty and political pressure as it decides whether to cut rates. In a sign of how unusual this week's Federal Reserve meeting is, the decision it will make on interest rates, usually the main event, is just one of the key unknowns to be resolved when officials gather Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So there's a part that actually caught my eye somewhere down here, which says, for now, Fed Chair Jerome Powell and other Fed policymakers have signaled the Fed is more concerned about weaker hiring and key reason investors. And a key reason investors expect the central bank will reduce its benchmark interest rate by a quarter point on Wednesday to about 4.1. So we are expecting rate cuts this coming Wednesday. And on another article here on Yahoo Finance, it says, West kind of setup for Fed, what Wall Street is saying about the central bank's rate decision. So this is coming in from Yahoo Finance. So let me just get down a bit here. It says, weak labor market data overshadowed a sticky inflation print last week, keeping investor expectations intact that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates at its policy meeting on Wednesday, right? And if I can come down a bit here, just to support why we are expecting gold to remain a safe haven. It's the worst kind of setup for the Fed, Claudia Sam, New Century Advisors chief economist and former Federal Reserve Board economist, told Yahoo Finance. They will not be cutting because we have good news on inflation. They will be cutting because we have bad news on employment, right? So gold is still a safe haven, and it's more than likely now that they are going to cut the interest rates rather. So we are expecting gold to remain as a safe haven, but we're not going to just jump in and take unplanned trades because we're expecting bullish moves on gold. Now we are going to wait and see what the results will be from FOMC, and we'll react on the markets based off of that. And I know that we're going to have a great week of trading. Wishing you all the best. And as usual, this is not financial advice. I'm simply doing this for training purposes only, right? And if you're interested in getting this kind of content on a constant basis, do subscribe, do like, share, follow. And we'll definitely like to hear from you. And that being said, happy trading and speak to you again soon. Cheers. Bye.